Hello students, very good morning to all. In the last lecture, we have seen advanced input elements which we can use with forms. Okay, which we can use with forms, advanced input elements. And already I have told you that these advanced input elements, these can be used for validation purpose. So we can use these input elements for validation control. Okay, fine. Now we will go for the next point, that is input restrictions. Input restrictions. So what we can do, we can put the restriction for the input controls. Now here we will go for a list of some common input restrictions. Okay, so we will see some of those. Attribute. So we can use some attributes with the input type. We can use the attributes with the input type, and we will see description of those. We will see description of those attributes. Whichever the attribute we are going for, so we will see the description. The very first attribute is disabled. Disabled, D-I-S-A-B-L-E-D, disabled. Attribute is disabled. The very first attribute is disabled. Description for this is specifies it will specify that an input field should be disabled. So it will specify that an input should be disabled. So we can disable the input with the help of this attribute, that is disable. Attribute is disable. Description is specifies that an input should be disabled. So we can disable an input with the help of this attribute disable. Okay, fine. We will go for the next. Max. Now this max attribute it specifies the maximum value for an input field. It will specify the maximum value for an input field. Already we have seen the input type. We have seen input type number. For example, input type is equal to number. Name is equal to first and num. For example, input type is equal to number, name is equal to fnum, max is equal to 20. So here we can give the maximum value, that is 20. We can use this max attribute. We can use this max attribute with the input type number. Okay. So attribute is max. We have seen example for this. For example, input type is equal to number, name is equal to fnum, max is equal to 20. So here we can rest we can validate up to 20. Here we can validate. Here we can use the validations, that is maximum number should be 20. In this example, I have given maximum, max is equal to 20. So we can use only 20 maximum number. It means up to 20 number only we can restrict. Okay, we can give the restrictions. We can validate up to 20 only. Okay, fine. Next is MIN, minimum. Next attribute is minimum. It specifies minimum value for an input. Like maximum, okay, we can validate for maximum. We can validate for maximum. We can also validate for minimum. It means we can give a range. We can give a range. We can give a minimum number, and we can give a maximum number. Okay, fine. Next attribute is pattern. Next attribute is pattern. So we see description for this pattern. It specifies a regular expression to check the input values. So we can specify a regular expression to check input values. So we can give a pattern. We can check a regular expression on input values. Okay, fine. So we will go for next. Next attribute is read only attribute. Read only attribute. So here we can specify, we will go for description. We can specify that an input, we can specify that an input field is read only. An input field is read only. Okay, it is read only. It means it cannot be changed. Only we can read that field. Whatever input we are giving, we can only read. We can't change in that field. Okay, fine. So we will go for the next. That is placeholder. Placeholder. Next attribute is placeholder. So actually this placeholder, description of this placeholder is it acts as an temporary. It acts as an temporary label. It is a temporary label showing the purpose of a text field. So if we define a text field, so what we can do temporarily, we can give a placeholder. Okay, temporarily we can give a placeholder. It will temporarily show the label of a text field without requiring a label tag. So here label tag is not required. So what we can do, we can include placeholder. So temporarily it will show the label. Now for example, if I want to, this is my text box. Now here, if I want to give the user input, if I want to give the input, so what temporarily what I will do, I will display here label. Address. If I want to feed address, if I want to input address, okay. So what I can do temporarily, I can use this attribute placeholder. I can use the attribute placeholder, okay. And what I will do, I will display here address. So a user know that what you want to do, he can input the address here, and here label tag is not required. In place of label tag, we are using the placeholder. Okay, fine. Is it clear? Now we will go for the next. We will go for the next. The next attribute is required. Next attribute is required. Required. So we will go for description for this. It specifies that an input field. It specifies that an input field is required. that input field should be filled. Okay, it should not leave blank. It should be filled. That's why we are using this attribute. We can use this attribute required. Required. So what it will do? It will specify that an input field is required. Okay. Compulsorily you have to give the input to this field. It should not be leave blank. It should not be leave blank. That field should be filled only. The user have to input the data in this field. Okay, fine. Is it clear? Next attribute is autocomplete. So the next attribute is which we can use with input type is autocomplete. So what it will do, description of this is autocomplete, description for autocomplete specifies whether a form or input field should be autocomplete. It will specify whether a form or input field should have autocomplete. It means we can make it on or off. We can make it autocomplete on or off. Okay. If we make it on, so whatever the data we are providing, input we are providing, so it will display that whatever the data we have inputted. If you want again and again that data, so it will autocomplete that. If you don't want this, we can make it off. We can make it autocomplete on or off. Okay, fine. So we will go for the next. Autofocus. The next attribute is autofocus. Autofocus attribute. So it specifies that, description of this is, it specifies that the input field should automatically get focus. The input field should automatically get focus when the page loads. Okay. Whenever we load the page, it will autofocus. It will autofocus that input field. For this purpose, we are using this attribute that is autofocus. Autofocus. Okay, fine. So we will go for next. The next attribute is height and weight. Next attribute is height and weight attribute. Height and weight attribute. So we will see the description for this. It will specify the height and weight of an input image. So if you are inputting an image, if you are providing an image, okay, so we can use height and width of the image. Now if I want, for example, I want this height and width, so I can provide height and width for the image, whatever the image we are giving. So we can give the height and width for the image with the help of this height and width attribute. Okay, fine. So for this purpose, we are using height and weight. Next is multiple attribute. Next attribute is multiple attributes. So we will see the description for this. What it will do? It will specify that the user is allowed. It is used to specify that the user is allowed to enter more than one value. A user can enter more than one value in the input element. In the input element, this works with input types like email and file. Okay, so we can use for this email and file. So we can provide multiple values. We can provide multiple values with the help of this multiple attribute. Multiple attribute. Okay, fine. Is it clear? So these are all some of the input restrictions. Input restrictions, or we are using these for validation purpose. We have seen the attributes, and also we have seen the description for these attributes. Now we will go for some other useful attributes used with input. We will go for some other useful attributes which are used with input. Already I have told you that we have seen some attributes which are used with input element or input type for validation purpose. Some more useful attributes which we can use with input, and the very first is ID. The very first is ID. So this was one of the useful attribute which we can use with input. So for what it is used? This ID is used. This ID, this attribute is used to identify. This ID attribute is used to identify the HTML element is used to identify the HTML element uniquely through the DOM. This attribute is used to identify the HTML element uniquely through the DOM, document object model. Next is class attribute. So it is used, this class attribute, it is used to apply CSS. Class attribute is used to apply CSS, cascading style sheets, CSS, cascading style sheets to the individual. It is used to apply CSS, cascading style sheet style to the individual input element. So this attribute, class attribute, these are also some of the useful attributes which we can use with input element. The very first is ID and the next one is class. Okay? Is it clear? So these are some of the input restrictions. We have seen some of the input restrictions which we can use for validation purpose. All these attributes, whatever the attributes we have seen, those are used for validation purpose. For example, I have told you that number input type. With number we can specify maximum, minimum. So we can validate. If I want maximum number from 50 to 90 or from 50 to 80. So what I will do? Just I will give input type is equal to number, minimum is equal to 50 and maximum is equal to 80 or 90. So minimum value, what we can do? We can apply 50 and maximum value in the range between 50 to 90. Whatever the value, we can apply minimum value 50. It will not accept less than 50 and it will not accept more than 80 or 90. Whatever we have specified in that minimum and maximum. Okay. So those are some of the useful attributes. Those are some of the attributes used with input elements in advanced input forms. For validation of data. It means here we can validate the data. We can give the validation for the data. And also we have seen some of the useful attributes which we can use with input, that is ID and class. ID and class. Yes, is it clear? Is it clear? Okay, fine. So we will stop here only and we will meet in the next lecture.